recovery. If it is not, then you should suspect there's something wrong and you have to take care for that. Most important thing, everybody has to remember, always look for the causes of the other pain, maybe neurogenic, maybe vascular, or maybe local pain, like trochanteric bursitis. This is very much important. Otherwise, patient is going to hurt you. He or she never will be satisfied. You operated for the knee, but there is a pain in the knee because of the radiculopathy. You operated, but there is a pain in the knee because of the vascular claudications. So, what I said earlier, early complications should be told to the patient or patient party, that is the infection, early component loosening, stiffness, anterior knee pain, DVT, one-off neurovascular injury. I had seen at least 3 patients where the artery was injured and we have to operate in the midnight. So make a habit always, once you finish your case, put your finger over the dorsalis pedis. This is very much important. This should be must for every surgeon. And believe me, after one surgery, there was a delay for the 6 hours when they diagnosed that there is a vascular insufficiency and there was a definite rupture of the artery. Once this was the swollen, the limb was cold and numb, then surgeon came to know there is a vascular injury. So there should be a habit of putting your hand over the feet after finishing the surgery. So one by one, because this was my main area of the concern, how will you discuss your complications? If you say, suppose high risk, if you do the surgery, you will have a high risk of DVT, maybe 20%, but this clot may go into the lung and may be fatal, then patient is going to run away. Straightforward. So what we have to do, we have to tell them the complication and we have to reassure them that we are going to manage it. So this is the both way. You have to tell the complication and you have to tell them also how you are going to tackle this. So most of the complications, main complications like DVT, infection, stiffness is very important. You have to take care for that because the pain is after any surgery. There is a pain. There are so many propaganda that you don't need any physiotherapy, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do this. At least if you don't allow physiotherapist to be with the patient, at least encourage the patient to do the physiotherapy by himself. So always mention that at least there should be a goal when the patient is discharged, there must be a flexion of the 90-degree and full extension. And at the end of 1 month at least you should achieve the 100 or 110 degree of the flexion. If it is not, always allow the patient, if you are having stiffness or something like that, there may be need of the another surgery. And you might require the movement under anesthesia. This should be told earlier to the patient because once it is stiff, then if you haven't told the patient beforehand, they will not agree for the another surgery. So always tell need for the revision. This is very much important. Maybe any region infection or whatever it is. Medical complications that may arise, for me it's most difficult medical complication is the constipation. Every patient used to complain, boss, 3 दिन से potty नहीं हुआ है. So explain them because these are the old patients. There may be some post-op problems and complications. If you haven't explained them or counsel them about that, then they are going bang on your head. So whatever it is, it will be managed properly because there are so many. Your colleagues will handle, but you have to answer. So tell them about the medical complications also. And anesthetic complications. I always encourage my patient or patient party to meet the anesthetists because there is no need to take the headache of the other problems to your own head. I always encourage them go and meet to the anesthetist, what anesthesia they are planning, how they are going to manage your post-operative pain and what could be the possible complications during and after the surgery. So these are the general tips. At least you should visit your patient personally after the admission. This is my endless request. Other things does not matter, your assistant will do. So after this discussion, conclusion for me, at least select your patient carefully. Always treat the patient, not the X-ray, because you might find there is too much of the problem with the X-ray. But patient might say, okay, मैं तो ठीक हूँ, मैं चल सकता हूँ, I don't have any problem. If you are going to operate these kind of patients, they are going to make you in trouble. So it's always advisable to counsel the patient, to know their situation, to assess their problem, and convince accordingly. Thorough clinical and local examination is very much required, which I told you. Look for the always neurovascular, neuro pain or any vascular claudication, something like that. Discuss pros and cons well before the admission. Always avoid giving false hope. Because you should never tell them everything you will be running, you will be doing this, you will be doing that. It's a procedure. Every procedure has a complications. You might face that. And why you want to do the procedure? Everything you have to explain, and what may be the complication that you have to explain simultaneously. So all is not always well. Discuss the possible complications. Thank you. Abrupt pain.
Both are very safe surgery, but it is very rare. तो RTA का जितना है possibility लगभग उतना ही रहता है.
Dr. Yadav has got loud voice, so I think he can manage. Anyway, that's very important point. In fact, I also wanted to first thank you.
Otherwise, patient will be frightened. Either he will not do under surgery, or he will go to somebody else. वो कहेगा कुछ नहीं होगा, मैं कर दूँगा, आ जाओ.
So he said, I know one of my colleagues had it, and he came out because he could sense that there was something. He could, that suspicion is very important. One of my colleagues did here. He saw little extra amount of blood coming out when he was he put the moment. Immediately the blood came out, and then he was suspicious. Then something has happened somewhere, and that's why. If you can make it your routine, that's important. And I still remember Professor Manny told this story. After 4 hours, he always keep my hand on my 3 things we are taking care of. Surgeon मैं तो ध्यान रखूंगा ही. Operation theater मेरे कंट्रोल में है. आप अपना कंट्रोल रखिए. You see that your attendants don't come and hug you. That's very important. So the 3 things are there, where 2 things are under my control. 1 thing is under your control. Just take care of that. So this is the way of putting things. But yes, you have to tell them that these are realities. And अगर हमारा आपका दोनों का भाग्य खराब होगा तो कुछ होगा. But we are equipped to fight that. That's all. That is the type of injury. You see, most of the time which we go to the literature, it is a contusional hematoma inside the artery, which can be embolized, embolectomy can be done, or you can open the popliteal artery from behind and make a small vein. Bulldog climbs up and pass a Fogarty catheter. It can be done. So 6 hours is not a...
I can tell a little bit, because what we operated last 3 patients, one we have to open because that I don't know how this was happened. That injury was at the junction of the bifurcations. So our vascular surgeon was not able to negotiate the Fogarty to that junction. So what he did, he opened it and then he removed the clot. And in one person we have to bypass. I don't know how it is injured, because the artery somehow injury may be passive injury and there was a clot only, and it's very difficult to negotiate Fogarty on that, and then we have to open. So 2 cases done where one open and one was only Fogarty only. Managed with the Fogarty. So one thing which Dr. Yadav said, मैं तो अभी सोचता था ये मेरा patented word है कि आप रोड पे जाते हो, you might get injured, accident तो हो सकता है. You say yes or no, then he used to say yes. So if you say yes, okay, there are the chances of complication, but maybe you are 1 or 2% chances of the complication. If you're that 1 or 2%, out of 100, 1 or 2. So that is unfortunate.
इसके साथ एक चीज और पूछता हूँ कि आप रोड पे चलना बंद कर देंगे, कि आप अपने घर में कैद हो जाएंगे, बताओ.
सर मैं सोचता था ये मेरा पेटेंटेड है, लेकिन आप लगा कि हम सभी यूज करते हैं.
I just wrote one very beautiful way of saying. One more senior, I have heard one of the professors said, the same question was asked to him. They said, लोग रोज दिन भर हजारों हवाई जहाज उड़ते रहते हैं और चढ़ते हैं उतरते हैं रन पे, कभी कभी कोई नहीं भी उतरता है, बस वही सही होगा.
I was also saying this 1 or 2%. I always tell my patients that look, 100 में 1 या 2 को problem होती है, but because mentally you have to give them a picture that it might happen, and if it happens, then if you have not counseled them properly, then they will really be after your neck. So if you really prime them up, but in a subtle way, don't make it sound very heavy like Dr. Yadav said, otherwise they'll run away or they'll go to your colleague, or some people might get so frightened they'll not come to the theatre at all, they'll not go to anyone. So, but the point is, because you have to explain 100 में से 1 या 2 को DVT होता है, जिसके लिए ICU की ज़रूरत पड़ सकती है. So that, and you know, if you have to put them on a venti or the ICU, and then the bill shoots up and a lot of medical hassles come up later, billing problems आती हैं. So we have to subtly put our point across. And if you say 1 or 2 get this problem, 1 or 2 get maybe not acceptance of the implant, 1 or 2 get infected. But it's very, very rare we take all the precautions. You have to inspire confidence into them as well as be safe. So put your point across very subtly so that if God forbid it happens, you have them on your side. Yes, doc, you are told this happens, and unfortunately it's happened with me. So I think that's the way it should be done. Probably. That's my way of it.
Thank you very much. The name, this is the doctor's name and procedure is not written there. Which side, that is not written there. There may be signature of the relatives, but they are not informed at all what the procedure is actually you are planning to do. Those sisters or those staffs, they don't know what you had written because of your very good handwriting. Even sometimes you cannot read your handwriting, this is the problem, and they don't write anything at all. Over the procedure, it's blank always. So, informed consent means which you are going to write over the file, and you have to take the signature, you have to sign yourself, and you have to take a witness also. This is the informed consent. So, this is an accepted ethical and legal standard. Individuals are entitled to all the available medical information and are allowed to make the autonomous decisions related to their health care. They must be informed what you want to do, what you are going to do, and whether they are willing to get it done or not. So now this is my story. I will go one by one through his story and about the consent. So Dr. Singh myself has been in practice for 10 years and has a very busy and successful general orthopedic practice. He normally performs 60 to 80 total hip arthroplasty per year. This is myself. So he means myself is having a typical video booked office hour session. He is also waiting for operating room availability to repair a hip fracture. His medical assistant directs him into the next examination room where the Mr. Basu is waiting the doctor for a pre-operative discussion for a total hip arthroplasty. Okay. So, who is Mr. Basu? Mr. Basu is a healthy 63-year-old gentleman. He is physically active and has no medical comorbidities. He has been Dr. Singh's patient for the past 3 years for the treatment of symptoms secondary to the osteoarthritis of the hip. The symptoms were getting worse, and the Mr. Basu reports his quality of life is being compromised. Mr. Basu has elected to undergo a total hip arthroplasty because he can no longer play tennis or go out of his morning run. His ability to work as a financial advisor has not been affected. So this is a little bit long narration because I want to just clarify what was the problem. Now he was not having any problem with the sleeping or with active day-to-day life activities, and is still able to spend 1 hour per day for the exercise. He has decided to have total hip arthroplasty based on your recommendation during a previous visit. You must have told him because you were suffering from the osteoarthritis. So in future you will require the total hip replacement. So this was my suggestion, and now he is ready to do it. Does this case present any ethical dilemma? and how should he proceed. Patient is now ready. He told that he cannot play the tennis. He told that he cannot run, and he is now getting depressed. You had advised him earlier, you should operate, now you have to operate. Now, is the patient an appropriate candidate for a total hip arthroplasty? Should you advise the patient that you believe it is a premature to perform a total hip arthroplasty? बहुत डर तो लगता है अगर मैं इसको patient ready है, अगर मैं इसको अभी बोलता हूँ थोड़ा जल्दी है तो भाग जाएगा दूसरे के पास. And should you decline to perform the surgery? Okay. Now, what Dr. Singh did, he explains to Mr. Basu that he had recommended a total hip arthroplasty because Mr. Basu had described a significant compromise in his lifestyle. He said that he is having significant problems. But Dr. Singh expresses his concern about Mr. Basu may be too physically active after his surgery because what he wanted to play the tennis, he wanted to run in the morning. So he is worried about this level of physical activity will increase the risk of early complications leading to the necessity of the revision surgery. So this was my concern, what the patient actually wants after surgery. Then he told me, he reports that he has done extensive research on the web and he fully understands the risk. He requests a standard implant. Mr. Basu has made a compelling argument that his lifestyle has been significantly compromised. Patient is saying, but he will not find it. He has always been physically active and his inability to run leaves him feeling depressed. Despite Dr. Singh's initial reservations, he agrees to proceed with the plant surgery. So, what he did, what Dr. Singh continues with the discussion to the risk of the procedure, including advising Mr. Basu to the possibility of DVT, pulmonary embolism, everything he discussed, blood loss, maybe limb length discrepancy, instability of the hip, injury to the nerve, and infection requiring additional surgery. Everything he explained. The patient again reminded Dr. Singh that he has a full understanding of the and requests him to proceed for the surgery. He had extensive research on the hip over the web. So, was this an acceptable discussion with the patient? What Dr. Singh discussed? Would you approach the process differently? Are there any issue not included in the consent discussion which you believe should have been discussed? Are there any issue you should have been discussed in more detail? So I am leaving the case here. So what is the consent taking? So what are the components of the informed consent? One is the decision making capacity. The second is the complete disclosure. Third is the understanding. And fourth is the authorization. So there are 4 parts of the informed consent. So comprehensive discussion between the patient and treating physician. Why is the procedure being recommended? That should be one part. What are the alternative treatments available and what are the benefits, risks and complication of the different treatment options? This is the one part. Second is there must be a complete documentation of the discussion in the medical records. Everything should be documented. Consent form is not the appropriate form which I told you earlier. That consent form which we usually sign is not the appropriate documents. This is the procedure and this is the signature of the relative and this is the doctor's signature. There must be informed consent with the every operated patients which you are planning to operate. And this should not be delegated to the most junior member of the team. So this is very boring topic. So I have to go through this. So what is the capacity to the consent? Often called as the decision-making capacity. Many consider capacity as the medical terminology and competence as in the legal terminology. The patient has the ability to understand the problem, options of the treatment and risk or benefit of each approach. There must be understanding of that. And there must be an understanding to select the approach which you discuss. Okay, these are the options and you have to select. patient cannot be under stress during the signature, and there should not be no fear of the abandonment. कि patient अभी अगर मैं sign नहीं करूँ ना डॉक्टर साहब हमारा इलाज नहीं करेंगे. There is also a problem. So what is consent? Consent is a complete disclosure. It's not equivalent to the disclosure. It's an understanding basically. You have disclosed everything, but patient should understand what you are planning to do. So how much to inform? So there are 4 standards. One is the professional practices standard, community accepted practices, which we can tell, okay, this is the recommendation which we are going to do. Second is the reasonable person standard, which is material information for the reasonable person, who is going to understand the process. The third one is the subjective standard. Different individuals want and need different amount of the information. And the last one is the state legal standard. There are different standards for each and every state. So I have to finish this topic very shortly. So what Dr. Singh did, that previous case, Mr. Basu undergoes a successful standard total hip arthroplasty and is discharged on the day 2. He returns to Dr. Singh's office after the 12th day. He has been having fevers, increasing pain and drainage. He undergoes an incision and drainage that evening, and a multifloral infection is diagnosed. Multiple attempts to save the implant have been failed. Dr. Singh recommends removal of the implant and placement of antibiotic spacer.